What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. Happy Tuesday. Yep, I'm on camera. How does my mic sound? My mic sound okay? We were Heather and I were messing with it, so hopefully we're good. Hopefully we're good. Anyways, hopefully you guys had a great day. Happy Tuesday. And yeah, I've got some fun court tonight. We are going to be hanging out in Judge Simpson's courtroom all night long. So he had a wild docket today. He had 3 really big cases. So we've got it was a landlord-tenant docket, but one of his there were a couple cases on his docket that weren't landlord-tenant, but sorry, I'm reading the chat. Yeah, so Mike sounds good. That's good. Yeah, you know what the funny thing about mics are? And coming from someone who just had a headset my entire life and I didn't actually have a mic, you can install them backwards. And that's what I did. I've been talking to the back of the mic since I installed it, which is why last night when Jedi, you said my mic sounded good. It's because I started talking to the side of the mic because the front of it actually was picking up my voice. So yeah, I'm a genius. We just had to turn the mic towards me. So if you take the little phone thing off, you can see which way it's supposed to point. I'm a genius. Anyways, now that we got that figured out, real quick. I don't know if Sherazad's here. Sherazad, are you here? Because I'm gonna wait till you get back to answer this question. Because I don't want to. Yeah. So I'll just wait till you get back, Sherazad. So once you get back, let me know. Anyways, I did finally get a proper mic. I did, Rob. Now I just gotta. Now that I know that I was talking to the back of the mic, I want to set it up so I don't have to sit this close. Because we did test it. So if I'm back here, the further I get away it actually sounds like I'm far away from it. So I want to figure out how to fix that so I don't have to be on top of it. Anyways, you guys ready to watch some court? Let's watch some court. All right. Judge Simpson. No, hold on. I lost my train of thought. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go. Yep. Live stream still get the original, the OG intro. Yeah, let's go.
Court calls the estate of Earl Samuels versus Jonathan Samuels. Good morning, sir.
All right, so I didn't really say anything except for we're doing all landlord-tenant cases with Judge Simpson today. So this first one's a follow-up. We watched the first one, it was a week or 2 ago. This is the guy who I think his brother, or maybe his parents passed away, and his brother was given, all the properties, and he's essentially squatting. He moved to this farmhouse. The brother's trying to sell it, and the guy he's pretending to live there. Well, at least the plaintiff's saying he's pretending to live there. It's a giant mess, but and he's also pro se, which makes it even better. Okay, I hope you guys remember it because that's about all I remember from it. So let's go.
Your name, sir? All right. This is in effect, and just so that we're clear on the record, it would be effectively a hearing to determine whether or not a order of eviction should be entered, but that had been entered. So I'm hearing your objections and whether or not I should let that stand, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Because it was not obtained according to proper procedure in multiple ways. If it is appropriate for Attorney Marcus as the acting for the personal representative, if it is appropriate for him to use the landlord to obtain the order of eviction. He didn't follow the requirements of the law the way, because he just tried to continue a case from nearly 2 years ago that wasn't at all the same legal entity, even though they inappropriately called it the state of Earl Samuels 2 years ago. It's actually, Dad was alive on a cell. Now Dad died and there actually is an estate. So to come to the court as Attorney Magnus did last month and say that he's now the representative of the entity that obtained the order, the judgment or the court, conclusion 2 years ago. No,
But sir, you need to understand that there are numerous occasions where there's a judgment entered by a person being or a live person who subsequently passes away. That case is then basically renamed with their estate. And it happens from both sides, particularly in with landlord tenant. It can happen from the plaintiff side, it can happen from the defense side. So I don't know that that's necessarily an issue for me.
well, it is because now I'm a 50% heir. So I have a totally different legal standing than I did initially. So, and under the law, I have.
Yes, but that
Oh, absolutely. I was thinking the same thing. A representative of the entity, that's straight from the soft sit script, but it was used in an appropriate way. Weird.
your standing vis-a-vis that property would have been taken care of by the probate court.
Well, that's part of my argument is the probate court should be handling this.
No, they don't. They don't have to.
No, that's not a lawyer. That's the brother who is not. Well, he said he's a 50% heir, but he's not, because the other brother, who's actually I can't think of the right word. He owns, like, his parents left him the stuff, not his brother. So they're trying to sell the farm and he's pretending to live there, but he is not an attorney.
As to the possession of premises, there is actually, in one reading, there's either I have jurisdiction over it or there's concurrent jurisdiction between the probate court and this court. So either of the courts can act.
I thought it was pretty narrow, the landlord tenant law.
Thank you, MB. Executor. That's the word I was looking for. Words are hard. I might have been able to fix my audio, but I can't fix my my ability to word.
Saying that the ER in a case like this can only act to evict after the property, it says conveyed, says it's $705.
I'll let the chat explain that, so I don't explain it again. Because I'm an idiot. That's what it is.
600-5407-1H. Where it's narrow in what it allows the district court to do, because
The district court can act where a personal representative is properly before the court, but the authority for the personal representative to act has to come from the probate court. I can't confer their authority to act.
well, the bottom line is that Attorney Magnus was obligated to do things in a more deliberate way rather than just try to use something from nearly 2 years ago. And you're saying that sometimes a ruling for before that can be continued on, but I would argue that because I'm a 50% heir, that
But you would have had to have gone to the probate court, right?
I'm in the middle.
Because the very fact that you're an heir to the property doesn't matter. What matters is that because there's going to be somebody that's going to be able to act regarding that property. And that's going to be the estate. And whoever is the personal representative of the estate is going to make those decisions, despite your status as heir. If you have an objection to what they're doing, then you go to the probate court, you make your objections to the probate court to what they're doing.
And I am, and I'm in the middle of that, and there's appellate cases that relate to this. So there's many things going on that Attorney Magdis tried to go around that to involve this court by saying that he was continuing something from 2 years ago, which is significantly more complicated than he.
Did you seek a stay at the probate court to this court's action?
I filed a couple motions for reconsideration. I'm filing additional.
And the motions for reconsideration is because the probate court has ruled against you.
Right, because Attorney Magdis said things at the hearing.
Jimmerger. Yeah, I'm still never going to be able to pronounce that correctly. Jimmerger. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Tending to repay cost of Colonim's audio degree. Yeah, I think there was a bunch of people that were telling me that it was backwards, and I was like, no, there's only one way to install it. No, once you take the little foam part off, it's yeah, there is a front and back. Leave it to me to just not listen to everyone else and start talking like this for some reason. Jedi, thank you so much for the late fee for Colin. Thank you so much. Colin's getting all the super chats tonight. Wait, that's me too. Colin, best name on the internet. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
That were not true, and the judge didn't have an opportunity to hear.
Which judge was this?
The new Oakland County Probate Court Judge Tracy Richards, who placed.
So Mr. Magnus went in, said what he said with his magic words, and just fooled the judge.
Well, she was giving deference to Attorney Magdis and my sister's attorney.
You are not going to. One thing that you're not going to do. I don't know, Judge Richards. I don't know. But I will say this. If you are, courts give deference to parties when they come in. All right. If you are going to indicate that a colleague of mine on the bench, despite being in another county, has shown some bias to your detriment, if you're going to make that argument here, the only thing I'm going to tell you is you better bring it. Because if you're going to make that accusation, you better bring it.
The judge was proceeding as though Attorney Magdis and the attorney for my sister would be obligated to tell the truth. And she assumed that when she asked them direct questions, that they wouldn't say things that there's material facts that contradict. So that's all parts of my motions for reconsideration, because there are.
Has she ruled on your motion for reconsideration? Has she ruled on your motion for reconsideration? Okay, so you want this court to, so why didn't your motion for reconsideration include a stay of these proceedings?
You know, Jacqueline, you can just ask. Let's see. What's the question? Can you ask Colin if this stream is going to include what happened after Simpson got so mad that he took a break? Because then I had a doctor's appointment and missed the rest of it. Yep. I have what happened after that. I've got what happened after that, and then the case right after. But Judge Simpson did remove his stream today, so if you guys missed it, I've got it. I am not playing the dead mice lady, only because that case is 2 hours long. If you guys want to watch that, I can play it tomorrow night, but that's going to be a long stream. The whole thing is like an hour and a half to an hour 45, maybe even 2 hours. It took up most of the day, so I did not include that tonight. But I have the other two good cases of his.
It referred to these proceedings. and-
That's fine. Why didn't it include the request for a stay of these proceedings and or a request to prevent the personal representative from doing specific things until such time as the judge could consider?
I asked for multiple things in the motion for reconsideration. I don't think I used the specific language to ask for a stay of this proceeding, but I'm actually, it's 2 weeks today from the hearing.
So, sir, let me explain something to you, because built in when
Yeah, and I'm absolutely going to because I want to play it. It's a really good case. It's the continuation of remember the case, another case I played last week of I call her grandma just because she's an older lady. That she had too many plants. She had too many plants on her balcony. They were trying to evict her. The apartment building didn't have a social worker. They spent a lot of time talking about the remote for the TV. That's the case. So that continued today, and the lady actually brought in dead mice. I don't know why. I haven't seen the whole thing straight through, but I am going to shorten it so we can watch it. But that's probably going to be tomorrow night. Like I said, it's long. It's going to take me a while to edit that down, but I am going to play it. Phil, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 5 new members. That is awesome, Phil. Thank you. And Legal Fiction with the late fee. Thank you, Legal Fiction. I appreciate it. And also, Heather says thank you for letting her beat you in fantasy football this week. She's very happy about that as well. Thank you, Legal Fiction and Phil.
I was a bit shocked when the parties appeared the last time by a number of things. One of the things that I was a bit shocked about was that you did not reside in the premises. And let me tell you why that's important. Because once the court determined what it determined here, that there had been a hiccup in trying to figure that out, the great fear for the court is that somebody was displaced from the premises to their house, and that something that happened shouldn't have happened. That harm isn't really in existence here at this time. You couldn't have resided at the premises because our order of evictions have a procedure in place that allows you to get before this court prior to the execution of any writ or order of eviction. And that is basically a 72-hour hold after the posting. That's the first thing. The second thing is that, from my understanding, there haven't been anything removed from the premises.
Well, but there was harm. They removed 2 vehicles which had value, and I really need the money from those vehicles. So.
Okay, so if you believe.
That's part of the eviction.
So, okay, so if you believe that the eviction was improper, that you've lost some property, then you would have to go after the estate. That doesn't come here.
What I was asking for is just to stay the eviction until we resolve things in the probate court. So.
I don't know why I do that.
Because Attorney Magnus didn't follow the procedure in several ways.
I'm giving you your hearing now. And that is precisely my point. Other than these vehicles that you say have left, and I don't know anything about the vehicles, there hasn't been the harm that would normally inure to somebody who has been evicted in this instance, because property hasn't been removed. So I'm able then to give you the hearing as to whether or not to allow the eviction to stand. And in fact, give you, as I indicated at the last hearing, frankly, more time than you would have gotten otherwise. to make whatever argument you needed to make to the court?
The argument is that the probate court should control things, and if not, then
Then if you believe that, sir, and that this court wouldn't have jurisdiction over a property that,
Yeah, I don't really disagree with you. There was a lot more weird things in the Mouse Lady case. This one actually pisses Judge Simpson off, which is why I'm playing it, and it's also a lot shorter. We can actually do this in one night, and instead of me spending a lot of time editing a video down just to try to rush it out. We can wait till tomorrow or this weekend sometime.
is venued in the 14A district. If you believe that, then that argument needs to be made to the probate court to stay the eviction or to prevent the personal representative from acting on the eviction.
I'm in the middle of that process. I've been
So
clearly,
if you're in the middle of that process, then I should allow this to stand. And then you argue that before the probate court.
that I think there's reasons to not allow this to stand because Attorney Marcus didn't go through the proper steps to.
I know Attorney Magnus is just a very bad individual. I get that, but that's not a basis upon which I made my decision.
Well,
I say that.
he's, as personal representative, he's obligated to be impartial, and he's doing things that favor my sister.
He does, I would imagine that he's doing things consistent with his fiduciary obligation to his client, that being the estate. Which there are going to be those which are involved in the estate, because it always happens, that aren't going to like that. So the real issue is you don't like what he's done.
Well, from my first conversation with him, I told him that the essential thing was that the farm.
You know, I might be able to fix the volume and, you know, turn my mic around, but that doesn't mean the mute button automatically turns itself off. The drunk lady's after this one. I am playing that one tonight as well. But yeah, that's not really a spoiler, MB. That's just saying what's next. But yeah.
Stay in the family, and he said that he agreed with a basic argument that the person who was trying to buy it 6 months ago didn't have a good case to be able to continue trying to buy it, but then he changed his mind. So, and this eviction then helps him proceed with the sale that he changed his mind about he changed his mind in July. In June, he told me that the person trying to buy the farm from 6 months ago.
Who's the personal representative of the estate?
Timothy Flynn, the person that Attorney Marcus represents.
Yeah. So why do you have so much animus toward this man?
Why does he have such animus towards me? I was living at my parents'
All right.
house more than
Well,
half the time.
apparently I struck a nerve. Are you listening to what you're telling me?
Your Honor, if someone
Are you
changed the law,
listening what you're telling me? Every sentence has begun with his name. He's an attorney representing a personal representative of an estate.
yes, and he's obligated to be impartial, and
He's obligated to do his job for his client.
and
That's his obligation.
and that would potentially include me. I was the one who worked to create much of the wealth that still remains in the estate. It was my sacrifice for many years. So for him, he's doing things which will diminish the wealth of the estate.
And why would he do that?
Because it's quicker. He's doing things that will resolve the estate more quickly, which is what my sister's attorney wants, rather than to achieve. I mean, for example, my parents' house is not in great condition on the outside, and I have things prepared to do work to achieve closer to full market value. But Attorney Magnus doesn't want to do any repairs and just wants to prepare it for sale as quickly as possible. So he's going to sell it to not a typical buyer, a flipper person who will.
Is he doing that against what the wishes of the personal representative are?
No, he's doing it because that's what the personal representative wants, but it's against. what makes
Exactly.
sense for the-
Exactly. That's his client.
I also have an interest in the estate, and
You do. And if the decision is made that the property is sold, I'm presuming you'll get your fair share.
yeah, but my fair share of a diminished sale significantly. Imagine the difference between the
Then you
house.
have to argue that to the probate court.
Yes, I'm in the middle of arguing many things to the probate court. And
Okay.
you're saying, so a key thing, Attorney Magnus on June 30th changed the locks and.
There we go.
Staying more than.
He went out there himself and did it?
What?
Nothing.
He
Go
did
ahead.
it. What?
Nothing. Go ahead.
What?
Go.
Can I reply briefly?
Yeah, no, you've been very good at being quiet, so we'll let that continue a little longer. Go ahead.
So on June 30th,
I love that. You've been very good at being quiet, so we're just going to let that continue a little bit further. Judge Simpson's awesome.
without any notice, without telling me that I shouldn't be staying at my parents' house more than half the time, he came and changed locks. All my things were there. He saw that my food, my computers, my clothes, everything was there, my legal papers. Imagine if someone just came to a residence where a person's living and locked them out, and then.
But you weren't living there.
I absolutely was living at my parents' house more than half the time, and I had Google Maps timeline showing in the 100 and.
It's a different house, Your Honor. We're talking Farmington Hills.
So
There's an eviction
we're
case
talking
for that.
about Attorney Magnus's actions, which have
Oh.
been impartial, which I keep referring to him because he has demonstrated, and the way he said at first that he understood how important keeping the farm in the family was to me, and how the legal argument to sell it seemed reasonable. Then he changed his mind without justification, and all of this is the whim of Timothy Fuller and Steve Magnus, rather than what's really right for the value of the estate and respecting what my dad wanted. And people refer to the estate as being intestate. There is a will. The same people who refer to no will.
Can I just say this? All of that, you've got to take me for the probate court. I told you at the first hearing, if I wanted to be a probate judge, I would have been. I'm not dealing with the will,
But
if there is one.
you're going along with what he did. on
Okay, yeah.
August.
I'm going to tell you what, I don't think I've ever met Attorney Magnus before. I don't think I've ever laid eyes on him before that last hearing. What I saw his appearance, I had no idea who he was. So don't come before this court, because I know where this is headed because of the way that you make your argument, and claim that I, for whatever reason, have some bias or some other interest in what he says to me. He has said nothing in this hearing, and I see huge problems with your argument.
Again, the dang mute button. Yes, Sparkle Boots, he's back, and you're going to see him here shortly. Don't worry.
Regarding this writ.
What about problems with the way he obtained the order from you? Because
Which I'm going through the process right now of correcting.
I would argue that the way the law is, the order isn't appropriate yet, because like the 600-547 is narrow in what it allows the district court to do as far as evictions. And I think I've cited it correctly.
When you say it's narrow, what do you mean?
Well, that's what I want to refer to is the 600-5407 has just one reference to an estate and a personal representative. And it says after, it says after sale and conveyance. Oh, I have it wrong. 5417 is it? So here, 5714. I had the number one. 600-5714. 1H, when a person continues in possession of premises sold and conveyed by a personal representative under license from the probate court or under authority in the will. So that's when the law that let you sign the eviction order would apply.
No, sir. You need to read the other parts of the statute. That is one instance.
Well, that's the only one that I saw referring to an estate like this.
Okay.
And there is other case law. In fact, there's a case that Timothy Flynn was involved with, the state of Anderson, where they let eviction issues be handled by the probate court.
Sir, what did I say to you earlier?
You said the probate court, but I'm just asking for you to let the probate court make the decisions until it's clearly justified under 600-5714-1H for you to.
And what I'm telling you is that I'm likely to rule. And then if you believe that I am in error, you can appeal me. Or you can seek a stay of any ruling that I may enter that you deem disadvantageous to you. You can seek a stay from the Oakland County Probate Court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ah, yes. One of my favorite fictional attorneys is in that show. Bob Blah Blah, attorney at law. Bob Blah Blah. Awesome attorney. So good. I'd hire that guy.
But you could also just have a stay to wait for some additional proceedings in the Oakland County Probate Court that.
I could do it that way. But I'm telling you, I'm unlikely to do that.
I'm fighting all this to try to respect what Dad wanted, and if I was never to leave the family, absolutely. This is all I have plenty of equity in other property to buy the farm. When Attorney Magus locked me out of the place where I was living, we made life very difficult for the last 9 weeks. So I haven't been able to function very well. Today I rode my bike here 30 miles because I don't currently have a working vehicle, because my life is completely a mess. And Attorney Magus, by locking me out without notice of the place where I was living on June 30th of this year, did something that most would regard as unlawful. So you're not allowed to just lock someone out of a place that they're legitimately living. Attorney Marcus tries to argue that.
You know what? You know what? You coming before me, and you just tried to besmirch this man. And you were about to, if I hadn't cautioned you, take a shot at a colleague of mine on the bench in Oakland County. Why don't you just give me the merits of what it is instead of explaining to me all the bad things everybody in the world seems to be doing to you?
I have the means and assets to accomplish what Dad wanted, and the action.
Can I ask a question? If that's all true, why aren't you making an offer on the property?
I did, and they don't want to accept it because I have to sell my properties first. So, you know, people buy properties all the time where they have to sell their own residence first. So rather than work with me, that's why I'm so upset about everything, because people are not looking at the facts of the things, the equity that I have. It's just a matter, I could sell things as is today and get 280,000 from my West Bloomfield previous residence, or I could do a few things and get 350,000. Or I could do a lot of things and get 450,000. Next door house sold for 450 earlier this year. So people can put on me under how much pressure they want. Do they need me to do something today and sell the West Bloomfield house as is for 280? Or do they want me to get 350 for it so that I'll have more to buy to put towards my offer on the file? And I have other properties with significant equity also, and it's a similar story. So the personal representative, the estate doesn't have to be closed right away. I've made an offer that's higher than the offer that they want to accept. So there's, and it's just what my parents wanted, what I've always said was so essential. So why won't the personal representative or his lawyer work with me? Why did they change their mind? Why is it okay that he locked me out of the Farmington Hills house?
Okay, that's in Farmington Hills.
Yes, and I'm
Welcome to Washtenaw. I don't have anything to do with Farmington Hills.
right. But the one thing that you could do is to not allow this eviction to stand and just to wait for some additional probate court action. Because that's really what controls things, as you've said.
Oh, I don't think I said that entirely.
I'm sorry.
Okay, have you finished with your argument?
I mean, there are other cases where probate court was the one that made decisions about landlord-tenant issues where it's not really falling under the landlord-tenant law. Because of my interest in the property, the way as 50% advisee, title will ultimately, if it goes to me, will ultimately be backdated to the day of Dad's death. It's like title transfers at the time of death subject to administration. So it's not a typical landlord-tenant case, and there's other case law that supports that. I just haven't had time to prepare things for you.
As I said, you've been given way more time than most individuals coming before this court.
considering that I'm struggling with the probate court, so many filings, and the appellate court, and my unstable living situation, I would argue that I could be given a little more time.
Anything else?
Sparkle Potes, thank you so much for the super chat. And to waste further oxygen, Your Honor. Yes, that is absolutely a reason why he's here. Thank you so much, Sparkle Potes, for the super chat.
I just think that the court is letting, as with so many things that happen with probate court involvement, the lawyers have sort of gone around the rules, and it's
So now you're
I thought it was gonna happen a little further, but this might be the part where it's about to go down. I honestly think it's not for about 10 more minutes, but I remember that line is kind of the start of it, so we'll see.
accusing the lawyers of going around the rules and the court's letting them.
well, by signing the order of eviction when it really had.
Okay, well, let's get this clear. Signed the order of eviction, stayed it, had a hearing, gave you additional time once I found out that it really wasn't a residence and things hadn't been removed, and now we're here today. So if you want to talk procedurally, while it is unusual, if you want to talk procedurally and any detriment to you in that, it's not there.
Well, I have been harmed by the removal of my vehicles. And that was a part of the eviction proceeding. He removed the vehicles. The eviction server person required that the vehicles be towed before he would do his eviction and break into the house. And they did take things out of the house and damage some things. And I haven't analyzed what they damaged because I had been living there.
Well, before you told me they had.
What?
Before you told me they had.
I never said they hadn't damaged the house. They broke into the house and threw a bunch of things out on the lawn, and I put some things back on the porch. But they had.
Is there anything else you want to argue to this court?
I mean, there has been harm, and the harm came after they misrepresented to the court that they were entitled, that the PR and his lawyer were entitled to have the order of eviction signed by.
Sir, there's a big difference between doing something and misrepresenting something. And, I'll be honest with you, I'll listen to you but I'm not going to allow you to just come in here and just smear everybody that seems to come in your path. Because that's all that you're doing. People are going to disagree, sir. Part of the reason we're here is because people disagree. And I have to make a decision, but it has nothing to do with anybody personally. For me, it doesn't have to do with any of that.
But the actions of Attorney Magnus did have very real consequences for me over the last several months since his involvement. I mean, mainly with the Farmington Hills house and with his changing his mind about the sale of the farm and trying to get the farm sold rather than have me be able to buy it. So he has made arbitrary decisions, him and Timothy Flynn, which have
They can be as arbitrary as they want. As client, they can be as arbitrary as they want.
I would argue not. I would argue that the law says that they're
Okay,
required to
you
do-
can argue that. I'm telling you, they can be arbitrary regarding certain things that they want to do. They don't have to operate on your moral guidelines.
Well, the law is very clear that they're supposed to be impartial and not do things that benefit the favor one devisee over another.
Then that you need to take up with the probate court if you believe that that's happened.
I absolutely believe it's happening, and I absolutely am taking it up, and that's part of the reason.
Okay, then that's where that argument belongs.
That's part of the reason I need more time here, because all of this helps to speed along what should have been more deliberately handled in the probate court.
Anything else?
What remedy is there for the harm that's been done by Attorney Marcus having my vehicles towed?
There you go. There you go. Legal fiction. He said it. What remedy? Legal fiction. You had to. Yeah. I don't know what to say.
And that was only because of the August 21st order that you signed when Attorney Marcus implied that he was continuing, we've discussed. What remedy is there for the harm that I suffered? And there is a harm to the,
What kind of vehicles were these?
it's a 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix that was functional, it needed a new fuel line, that's,
A 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix.
yeah, I mean, it's not worth much.
The other car, what's the other
I've
vehicle?
submitted pictures, Your Honor, of the vehicles when we killed them.
The other car is a 1990 Honda Civic, which is actually worth more than the Grand Prix, even though it's not functional.
Yeah, that's people judging what American cars are worth. Go ahead.
Well, it's because there's some like, people, fans of a movie, people like this old model Honda hatchback, and the engine in my Honda Civic has only 100,000 miles on it, and there's other parts. So I've seen ones that are just like a shell for 1,000 or more. So my car with significant parts was worth over $1,000, the Civic. And
Okay, so it's $1,000. And then how much is the other one worth? It's a GM, so
The
it's
other
not
one-
much. I'm a Ford guy.
The other one was worth between 500 and 750, whereas scrap value.
So we're talking $1,500.
I would say the Civic is actually worth more than 1,000. I said 1,000 for a.
How much are you, how much are you saying?
$2,000.
2,000 total. All right. Anything else?
Briefly, Your Honor. With the most recent.
You may take whatever time you want. You have been very patient and listening. Go ahead, sir.
I won't take long. You and I think see the same case in the exact same way. I'll just say we're the latest in a long line of judges and attorneys engaged with Mr. Samuels in the exact same way. We have, I think, 7 other eviction cases. There's 9 appeals, maybe 10, I think, Court of Appeals with regard to, this goes back many years. The point being, I did put the court in this position by missing that 56-day court rule.
And can I just stop you there? Because, and I think it's important to point out, as this gentleman has been sort of smearing you, one of the things, and I remarked it to my staff when I went back, and that is that you came in, and for somebody that's looking to hide stuff or do whatever, the shady stuff he says you're doing, you stood before this court, said, look, Judge, I wasn't aware of this. I did this. This is what I did. Just straight up. And I'm going to just tell you this, Judge, I appreciated that. That's how lawyers practice. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, so like I said, at the last hearing, I learned that one in real time, right? So we could have had this hearing 2 weeks earlier. But as you said, the result's the same. Mr. Samuels doesn't live there. We removed his cars. Yes, they're waiting at the impound for him to pick up. No problem. And I just asked the court issue the order so we can move this whole process forward.
All right.
Yeah, they want a lot of money to pick them up, so and I have another property a mile away that if he worked with me, we could have put my cars at my other property a mile away. Now they're somewhere 20 miles away, and
Or if they were drivable prior to this happening, you could.
Oh, I love that Judge Simpson's playing with the dinosaur right now. Yeah, I absolutely love that. Let's go. What is that, an eraser, or is it actually like a toy dinosaur? What is it?
Could have moved in there.
yeah, they weren't drivable. The premium
Okay,
fuel
then you
line.
could have gotten a tow and got him there.
Exactly, a mile would have been an easy, cheap tow, but Attorney Mondes didn't work with me, didn't contact me.
You know, I just hook
And,
into my truck and drag it up. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
well, no, I actually could have done that. To take him down.
So why is that his fault?
Because he didn't let me know that he was.
Because
leaving.
everything is his fault.
There was no reason for me to think that he was towing the cars in August.
Okay.
There was no reason for him to have done that without notifying me. He gave me no notification at all, and he was notifying me of other things. He refers to evictions and all. The bottom line is that when I was conservator, I did for my family what anyone would want a conservator to do. And I was only removed as conservator 2.5 years ago because other attorneys said things in court, material facts that are absolutely not true, that the judge even acknowledged when seeing video.
Oh, so these were other lawyers that lied?
No, it's again, my sister's lawyer is the main.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just trying to get it clear.
Well, my sister's lawyer has misrepresented material facts many times.
Okay. There we go again.
She has.
Okay.
And I can prove.
Okay, that's fine. Is that before me?
Attorney
Is it
Montes
before
just
me?
went through all these
Is it
issues.
before me?
In a way, it is.
Why is it before me?
Consequences of it are before you. All of this has happened because from the beginning, I did what anyone would want as conservator, and instead of it being applauded, I markedly increased my parents' wealth. I did everything the way Dad wanted. I cleaned up their house such that the judge, seeing the video, said, yes, it does look good. But the attorneys for other sides said, I didn't do what I did, even though they had video, a proof, and later acknowledged that I did what I said I'd done, but they hadn't believed me. So it is before you because the consequences of everything that's gone on in the last 4 years lead us to where we are. So this is just the final action in a terrible sequence of events, which started with my sister betraying my parents when they were clear on what they wanted for the future. And both my parents died prematurely without me caring for them because of the probate court involved. And it's obviously sounds crazy, but it is.
No, it just sounds like another one of your attacks on somebody else.
Hey, Shirzad, I was gonna answer that question earlier, but I didn't think you were here. He randomly does remove his streams, but I have a theory on today's stream. He had a case where what are they called? When you get a case removed off your record. I can't think of the legal term for it, but he had somebody who what is that word called? Somebody help me. Someone's gonna say it. But so there was some guy who got a case removed from his record. It was something that happened 20 years ago, and I believe expunged. Thank you. It was yes, expunged. So he had his case expunged from his record, and I don't think Judge Simpson wanted that on the internet. So he cut his docket after that, which I agree with. You know, it's the idea of something being expunged is no one can look it up and it can't be held against you anymore. But if there's a video of it on the internet, Even though it's not on your criminal record, someone can still find it. So that's what I think happened. Or it was just a really weird day and he just decided to delete his video. That's possible too. He does do that every once in a while. But that's just my guess. Who knows though for the real reason, but that's my theory.
That's what it sounds like to me.
So when Dad was saying he wanted me to keep caring for him and I was having him gain weight and they took him away from me, it's my.
Sir, then all of that has nothing to do with this case.
Indirectly, it does, because it led us to where we are. It's like there should be, my dad's will said the PR would be my sister and me. We only have an independent PR because of actions by my sister's lawyer 2.5 years ago that I didn't even understand.
Then you need to bring that to the probate court. I can't do anything about that. Even if, for whatever reason, I thought you were right, and I have my serious doubts as to whether or not you are, even if I had my doubts, there's nothing I can do.
Well, you could just do nothing rather than enter the order of eviction.
You haven't been here before. It's rare I do nothing.
Well, in a case where there's some question as to.
No, I really don't have a question.
There are some appellate cases related.
I haven't seen it either. I don't know. Maybe YouTube's glitching. I don't know the answer to that. I could be, try to be a funny guy and say just keep sending it until it goes through, just keep trying. Don't do that because I don't want all of a sudden it to come through like 10 times. Yeah, but thank you for trying. I do appreciate it.
To the district court's involvement in the estates and landlord-tenant issue.
If you believe that my action is inappropriate, sir, you have all of your appellate rights.
I'm already completely overwhelmed with what I'm trying to do.
Whether or not you choose to exercise those rights is beyond me, but you will have them. And unless there's anything else, I'm ready to rule.
I understand that, and I just think that you're, as with everyone, respecting the lawyers instead of analyzing actions that they've done. Like,
sir, you know what? I'm going to stand in recess. I will come back. I will. I promise you.
Oh man, I was reading the chat. I missed what he said. All right, I'm gonna rewind it a couple seconds, guys. So we're at 47:25. I'm gonna rewind it about 15-20 seconds because I missed it. What's up with Mayor? are you laughing at the picture that I put in Discord? That wasn't really him. He's on a road trip though. He's I think he sent me a couple texts today. I didn't ask him where he was on his road trip, but anyways, I'm gonna rewind this a little bit because I missed it. I was too busy reading. Okay, I rewinded about 30 seconds. Okay, I'm not gonna miss it this time. Everyone stop typing so I can pay attention. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do that. I'm just not gonna read it.
And I just think that you're, as with everyone, respecting the lawyers instead of analyzing actions that they've done. Like,
sir, you know what? I'm going to stand in recess. I will come back. I will. I promise you I will come back, but I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in a whole bunch of trouble.
All right.
You may be seated. I told you I'd come back.
Oh, I bet. Oh, after looking back at it, I wish he never did. That he thinks he shouldn't have come back. He had such a crazy day. This was the most mild case of his entire day. This one. This one. No, he had a couple that were really small, but the actual hearings that he had that weren't 30-second either adjournments or dismissals. Yeah, this one was mild.
The fear of saying this, is there anything else from either party before I rule?
Okay.
Sir?
Just please try to understand.
All right. Oh, I do understand. And I've listened to almost 45 minutes of your argument. And at each point, frankly, and just to surmise that you were always blaming somebody else for doing something to you and then attributing some evil motive to why they were doing it. And it's all because things didn't go in your direction. In this case, counsel freely admitted that there was a violation of the 56-day rule. However, this court determined that there really was no harm that inured to the defendant because of that. And the reasons for that are, number one, the defendant did not reside in the address. Number two, property was not removed prior to the defendant filing what I'll call his motion before this court so that he could be heard, with the exception of 2 vehicles. It's also come out during the course of this hearing that despite that, defendant had access to those vehicles in the sense that he could have paid for those vehicles and retrieved them, did not, and chose himself to not do that.
Because of lack of money.
Okay, I've let you talk for whatever. It is my time. Am I clear on that? And all of that having been said, while this is unorthodox, this court does believe that it preserves the protections that the 56-day rule, the 256-day rules actually, have in place, and the intent of those rules, so that stale orders and other things don't happen. The defendant has had an opportunity, certainly, to be heard before this court on the first occasion, back on September 3rd. The court heard the initial part of this, gave the defendant additional time, which he did not use to provide anything in writing or otherwise to the court regarding this particular proceeding. And it seems that his major beef has to do with the actions of the personal representative, counsel, the court, and everything else. And I guess prior to my going off of the bench, he, quite frankly, had not, as of yet, taken a shot at me, and it was about to. And so I certainly needed to remove myself before I responded back, and may have responded back in an inappropriate fashion. But you can take whatever shots you want at me. I'm sure in whatever other hearings, my name will come up as somebody who has done something wrong to you. I don't think that I have. So, having said all of that, it is the order of this court that the order of eviction will stand, and that the execution of the order of eviction signed by this court may continue. The defendant may seek a stay if he wishes. This order to give the defendant an opportunity to seek a stay before the Oakland County Probate Court, this order will take effect for the continuation of it 7 days after the signing of my order. Thank you.
Should I submit the proposed order?
I really like having you guys here, but I'm gonna do an order. All right. So if you want to wait, she's beginning that and should have it for my signature shortly. Thank you.
All right. That one was fun, right? And we still have one more. He didn't get a break. Now, just remember the case we just saw. And right now, right afterwards, you notice there's no cuts. I just let the video play. Oh, man. Oh, man. And then we have Dead Mice Lady after this. Judge Simpson, what a day.
Court recalls the case of New Parker Apartments versus Tubbs.
Same for the plaintiff, Your Honor, our decision to wait for Ms. Tubbs paid off.
All right, real quick. I actually went back and grabbed the beginning because if you notice, he said recall, but she wasn't here yet. So, and the attorney said, I think she's on her way. So that's what that's essentially what happened. So nothing happened in part one, but here we go. Whew.
Here.
State your name.
Sherry Tubbs.
Okay.
I wish I knew the answer to that because that exact same thing was in my head. If he has so many properties, why is he squatting in one they're trying to sell? He's trying to gain something off of it. I mean, that's all I can think.
Where are we on this case? And then I have a question.
There.
Goodness. I usually don't bring
That's
my
the worst
comments.
thing that happens today.
I know, I never do that. I'm sorry. I never have my.
The sex offender registry still shows Mr. Gardner is living there. There's I found in there somewhere where it looks like there was some check made on 8/27 of 25, so in August of this year. I don't know what it means. I'm not saying that means they confirmed it, but there's a date in August of 25 in the sex offender registry records. And I did a Lexus person search, and apparently his driver's license is at her address still. She acknowledges that it has not been changed. I given Officer Allen a default judgment. I think it could now be after hearing, and she's says she wants to try to get this done, and so if the court gives her more than the 10 days.
Yes, because he had went to the post office and changed all his mail.
Yeah, she's the tenant, but she has a violation of her lease that they don't say what relationship this random person has with her. I don't know if it was a boyfriend, a son, just a friend. I don't know. But he was on the sex offender registry, and the apartment found out and is trying to evict her now. But she's trying to say that he no longer lives there. I don't know what her defense is, except for he no longer lives there. So that's what they're here for. So that's what this case is. But she is the tenant, yes.
Last time I was here, I didn't know.
Ms. Tubbs, Ms.
Okay.
Tubbs, before you go on, have you been drinking?
Yes, I have a couple of beers, yes.
How much did you have?
I drink beer. Like
Okay, so how many beers did you have?
18 ounce or 24 ounce, yes. I would.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about the 24 ounce. You can say I only had 2 or 3 beers.
So this morning, can you get Teresa down here with the PPT, please?
I will say like 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's what
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, you started drinking?
That's what time I usually get up and drink milk here.
Okay, so how many did you have this morning?
A beer.
Just one?
Uh,
One, what, 24 ounce?
24. I will acknowledge that, yes.
So that's like two, but what kind, what?
I don't know how much come into 24 hours.
24 ounces. So, what kind?
But like,
Oh, of course. Bud Light. Why did I
yeah,
ask?
I drink Bud Light. I used to drink Miller High Life, but I drink Bud Light. I used to drink a lot of liquor, but Bud Light. Why would you ask me?
Because I've got to determine whether or not you can adequately do this hearing, Mr. Allen.
Yeah, there you go. Confused how Simpson can order a PBT force for a civil. Oh, you mean? Yeah, I mean, well, you're gonna see what happens. I mean, it's a civil case. Technically, he can hold her in contempt of court for showing up to court drunk. I mean, he does have that ability. I've seen other judges do that.
Your Honor.
Mr. Allen, I'm going to give you a PBT.
What is that?
Okay, that's a preliminary breath test.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so here's what's going to happen. You're going to go back with Mr. Allen, and there's going to be a PBT. You just need to blow into the machine, and then we're going to see. Okay. Thank you, Miss Tubbs. Watch your step. Okay, bye-bye. I know. Glad that's what came out of her mouth. All right. You know, there are times in life where I'm just afraid to call another case. Just kind of take a pause and you just hope.
Hey.
Are they?
They're doing what they do.
Okay.
Some people wake up in a number that would send other people to bed.
I know. You know, I was just gonna ask for breakfast, really? I don't think. Off the record? No, I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Because.
Who's getting that to whom?
I'm not really sure. But
I don't know if you can hear that, but that was Miss is it Hubs? I don't remember I don't remember what the name was. But she's like, deep breath, blow, 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 blow. And that's when the attorney said, who's giving that to who?
I'm afraid to go back and look. Mr. Lloyd, is yours simple? Where's Lacey go?
Very fast.
Oh.
That's what Magnus said. And then no. I'm kidding. Corey, go.
We heard you.
Oh, holy. Okay. Hold on a second. Miss. Okay, Miss Tubbs.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I already know. I was drinking last night too.
Yeah.
I already know what it was gonna be, Miss, Simpson.
Uh-huh. Okay, so let me first ask you this, and then I'll try to see what we're gonna do with your case. How'd you get here?
I got dropped off by my sister.
You didn't drive.
No, I don't drive.
That's probably a good
I
thing.
don't have a license, so I don't drive. I know I.
That doesn't stop everybody,
And I'm
but
getting on the bus when I.
okay, so. Here's the thing, I don't know that I could say I'm gonna do this after a hearing because she is highly inebriated. She's a .224.
If you are seriously.
That's probably about 3 sheets to the wind. Never mind. You don't know what, off of one beer, no, you had more than one.
Okay, I played a drinking game too, so that was it. Oh, man, did I say that out? I'm sorry. I do play the drinking game.
But that wasn't beer, right?
That was,
You were just talking about beer before.
yeah, I
Like,
did
you
have
were lying.
a beer at 3 o'clock or something in the morning, but I did play the drinking game the night before.
You
So,
told the truth. And
And
nothing
then,
but
not
the
the
truth,
truth,
but
but
not
I
the
didn't tell the
truth.
truth, whole truth. Judge Simpson, I didn't tell the whole truth, because I played a drinking game like. I played a drinking game.
Your Honor, the efficient thing to do would be to come back on Friday with a regular landlord tenant docket.
yes, it
But
would.
the kind thing to do would be to maybe come back the next Friday so she can have one more shot at trying to get him to the state police and get it to.
No, but the state police is way out in, right now have
You
transportation.
don't have to go there. Willie Gardner's gotta take care of this, or you're gonna get put out. And everybody's-
Oh, he had to,
Everybody's trying to
believe
save
it.
Tennessee.
I'm just
You need to
walking
get on the team with us.
oh,
So how about
come on, Mr. Simpson.
26, Your Honor?
Come on, what?
Judge Simpson, I do not need to be paid. I ain't had a permit in 15 years, and I finally got my own permit. I didn't know this was a sex offender or none of that stuff.
Okay, so
But when I come back, I'm gonna be
Just
here.
on the regular docket
On
on
the-
26.
on the 26th. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. All right, I'm going to adjourn this, and it's gonna go back to basically a pretrial for September 26th, 2025 at 3 p.m. That's in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Cause
so
I'm gonna drink at 3 a.m. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
okay, I just Miss Tubbs, Miss
I appreciate you, Judge. I really do.
Miss Tubbs.
Since I can't be picked up on first.
I know, but Miss Tubbs, here's okay. I'm giving you basically 10 days to sober up and get that.
Right today, I'm not drinking no more today. I promise, I ain't gonna drink no more till the 27th. I'm just saying, I just try to keep my apartment.
I know. So I'm
I
not
got 32 grandkids, and
Okay.
they never come to my apartment.
okay. I'm not gonna get into that. All I need.
Say 32.
31 grandkids, 10 kids, 31 grandkids.
31.
31 grandkids, 10 kids, 5 boys, 5 girls. And they love coming to my apartment, just, they don't live with me, but they just like to come and play.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna adjourn it out to the 26th at 3. Next time you walk into my courtroom, you need to be sober.
Promise. I got a Bible in my purse.
No, don't. Let's not do that. All right.
Bible in my purse. Look him up. Thank you, Judge.
Yep, you take care.
I am.
Okay,
Thank
you
you so much.
go ahead and you just be safe out there, okay?
I'm gonna get on the bus. I just ride. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, we're not. No, we're not laughing at you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, we're
Yes.
certainly not laughing with you.
How much you want to bet it's the wrong bus?
All right. All right. Yeah, that one was fun. Kind of sad, but fun. I'm glad Judge Simpson let her leave. It's not the most egregious court case, but yeah, don't go to court drunk. Yeah, I don't know that a lot of judges would have held her in contempt, but I don't know. Maybe because she was hilarious and lovely. I don't know. I'm done commenting on it. All right, who are we gonna raid tonight? Who are we gonna raid? Oh, I need to refresh like always. Anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for the super chats. Get the membership milestones. You guys are all awesome. Mods, as always, you guys rock. Thank you so much for all you do. And looks like all we have is Lone Wolf, so we're headed over there. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. We're going to Lone Wolf. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. Please hit that like button if you haven't. It helps out a lot. And I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. The 7th. I feel like the 17th. I feel like I have something written down for tomorrow. Anyways, we'll find out. You guys are awesome. Go tell Lone Wolf I said hello, and I will see you guys tomorrow. That's it. That's all I got. Until next time, bye.
Any excuse?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Fink. No, I'm going to keep calling cases because it can't get any worse. Field Properties versus Jason Mitchell.